So to make a apt analogy, what you boneheads are doing by impersonating police, you're just impersonating detectives, not beat cops. There's first responders. That's one level of police. They run around in squad cars, give tickets. If there's a fire, they respond first. Or some other crime, they respond first. And then if it requires something else, then they kick it over to detectives or Cousy or state police, depending on the crime, right? What you're doing is you're skipping first responder impersonations and going right to impersonating the next level of detective, of undercover. You're impersonating narcotics and human trafficking. You're basically impersonating special victims detectives, especially since Piper and Munoz are claiming they're investigating my father for abusing me, essaying me as a kid, which he did not. It was my mother and her family that pimped me out to people. Epstein's hillbilly unit in Arkansas and Missouri. And your technique, you're as obvious as fake, unlicensed, unprofessional imposters as somebody who takes a VW bug, a Volkswagen little Beetle, little bug, like the movie Love Bug from Disney, and takes a can of black spray paint and white spray paint and spray paints the fender and the hood of the car black, the fenders and the hood black and the trunk black, and then the doors white, and then try to paint a VW bug in the same black and white pattern as a police cruiser. And then take red paint, purple on the door, and then paint police in handwritten letters. Nobody in their right fucking mind would believe that's a police cruiser. You are. But it's the same analogy. It's the same difference. And these police who are sending you in plain clothes to use these tactics, they're doing that to go unavoided. Well, why didn't you? You knew what you were doing. And you got all butthurt and threw fits when you got filmed, or you thought you were getting filmed, like Stephanie and her stupid ass. I rattled your cages and I got confession, got you to implicate yourself. I got you to show, like the video said, mens rea, aka malice and forethought. I got you. If I would have just been calling you in for impersonating police, everybody would have altered their behavior a whole lot sooner. When I called it in as a domestic, that's low priority. And it gave everybody a chance, gave us all a chance to audit steps and all the outreach contractors and what have you. Doesn't mean it isn't true. But when I'm calling the police non-emergency number or even 911, I'm reporting a crime that's happening right in front of me at that time. I don't know any of you personally. You're not stalking me because you're attracted to me. I mean, obviously some of you are predators. One of you was jerking off around my tent on a nightly basis. And this other shitbag got high and drunk and ransacked my shit, passed out on my fucking cot. I should have stomped his fucking phone is what I should have done. The only reason why I even gave his phone back to him and didn't say, hey, there ain't no phone in here, what the fuck could he have done? What was he going to do? Call police? And say, I busted into her tent and then I accidentally left my phone in there when she kicked me out and now she won't give me my phone back. Police are going to be like, what the fuck were you doing in her shit anyway? Only reason why I gave you your fucking phone back, bitch, is because I needed you to immediately text somebody and tell them that I kicked you out. I didn't have enough on you then. So basically, what I've done is strung you along. That's not to say I was lying to police. You are stalking. That's illegal surveillance. It is domestic. But that puts it at a whole different level as far as how they respond. When I'm calling every day, multiple times a day, to multiple jurisdictions about people impersonating the police, and I have years of confessions and very recent video to back it up, regardless of how you alter your behavior now. Just because you don't approach me now and try to talk shit and cozy up to me now, doesn't matter. The more you alter your behavior to make it look like you're not guilty, again, if the crime don't get you, the cover-up, well, that's more evidence of mens rea, malice, and forethought. That's you trying to cover up what you did. That's called consciousness of guilt. That sends you right to fucking death row. And I told you that's why that's why we were all stringing you along the way we were. And nobody's going to buy any bullshit. Well, the police forced me to impersonate police. That's like, again, somebody taking a couple cans of spray paint and spray painting a VW Bug to try to look like some half-assed police cruiser that clearly isn't. Handwritten word police in a circle and maybe a fucking gumball machine on top. And then you get in it and actually try to pull people over and pull a gun on them and try to get them to give you money. Ain't nobody gonna believe that you didn't know what you were doing was wrong as hell. Especially when I'm putting it all over my social media and you're watching it. That's why you get all butthurt when I film you. I knew the more serious crime was impersonating the police. I knew that's what I really needed, and that's why I actually made it a point on my last few calls to Essex PD. I said they're impersonating law enforcement. Or I said government agents. But I was letting them know that I understood the more serious crime. And they knew at some point I was going to drop the pretense of domestic violence, because that's just the governing dynamic. The real threat to public, because when you're impersonating police and you're doing illegal surveillance on me so you can hear my conversations with the McDonald's management and crew because you're working for Napoli and Michaela's ICE attorney husband, who want to know who might be cooperating with me in our investigation so they can target them and smear them and fire them and kill them or whatever. That makes you a threat to public safety in general. That makes you a threat to everybody, including police. Because you're here to get close to me to find out who the police's undercovers are that are helping me and kept me alive and ultimately saved my life. So you're threatening cops' lives when you're impersonating police, besides threatening just general public safety. And trying to find out who in AA is helping me, who the AA lawyers are. That's the least of your worries. You're trying to find out who local police investigators are, who are keeping me alive and let me know. They don't tell me anything that I don't already know. They didn't come to me and say Tammy was murdered. They didn't say, oh, one of your fellow ICE agents was murdered. That's not what I was told. She just gave me the facts of the person's death, and the facts added up to murder. So, and she also, and I said, well, they're promising them this, they're promising them that. She says, that's what they do. So they're, and some of you, they have to give a few of you apartments to convince the rest of you that you're going to get one. And you may get one, but you're going to die in the motherfucker. They're going to kill every fucking one of you. They killed Michael Jackson. They killed Prince. They killed a whole lot. Whitney Houston, her daughter. These are wealthy millionaires with very expensive private security. Most of them are special forces. There's 3 of you already dead. And that's just within, well, Ben died a couple of years ago. But 2 of you are gone just within a matter of weeks. But things are escalating. Things are getting worse for them. They're getting more pressure. Also, when you're impersonating police, Congress ain't got shit to do with that. It don't matter whether Republicans or Democrats are in charge, because it ain't strictly a federal investigation. It's a state and city investigation. Will it ultimately lead to these people, to Todd Blanche and Bailey and Holly? Yeah, but guess what? The fact that they're bringing in people from out of state to impersonate police means that they can go arrest Josh Hawley right on the fucking congressional floor. They can have federal marshals pick his ass up. I don't even think they need federal marshals to do it. I think the state police, Vermont State Police, can go arrest his ass in his office in Missouri. And Bailey. And Sweeney. They can go arrest Cronin in Florida. They can go arrest Ron DeSantis. Of course, he's JAG. I'm talking about civilians. JAG's all you military operators, that's a whole different ballgame for you. Especially when you're falsifying records to say my father killed me and then blame it on my father to avoid a court martial. It's a wrap. It's over. Will they act right away if I call tonight? If I had called on these 2 boneheads tonight, would they have rolled up? Probably not. Probably kick it over to Outreach and let Outreach fuck up, because once Outreach fucks up once on record, that's all the probable cause they need to do, if they even fuck with it. I really don't know how they're going to prioritize it. And if Outreach doesn't make the appropriate referral to who they need to refer it to, when I have to call again because another motherfucker's in my face, I'll say, please tell the officer that Outreach refused to do a proper referral. They wanted to meet in person, and since they're implicated, that's tampering. They're conflicted. And then they made some bullshit excuse about why we needed to meet in person when we didn't. I'm not going to tell them how I keep catching them in the act.